There are plenty of classic songs from the 60s that came along and completely changed American culture. The book, But Will You Love Me Tomorrow, an oral history of the 60s girl groups, wanted to capture some of those iconic stars. And here to tell us more are co-authors Laura Flam and Sieu Liebowitz. Emily, Laura, thank you both so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
Of course. Now, before we get into the details of 60s girl groups, we have to talk about your book and tell us basically what are behind the pages. What can people expect?
So our book is about the girl group sound and the people who made it, primarily the women who voiced the songs. And the girl group sound is really defined by 3 to 5 young women, girls really ranging in ages 11 to 25, singing vocal harmony, really influenced by R&B and doo-wop. And in the late 50s and early 60s, these songs really topped and dominated the charts. And if you're wondering what the girl group sound is, the girl group sound, everybody's heard it, you know, it plays all the time, but the songs that might come to mind are Be My Baby by the Ronettes, Where Did Our Love Go by the Supremes, or the song we took the title of our book from, Will You Love Me Tomorrow by the Shirelles.
Amazing. Yeah. And when it came to these 60s girl groups, Laura, I'd love to ask you this now. Why did you guys want to write a book about their stories? Because so oftentimes we never really heard about the young women, or the young girls who are behind these songs.
Well, that is precisely why we decided to write the book, because they are all of these incredible women with these incredible stories. But as so many women's stories end up, you know, what happens to so many women's stories is that they get buried in the stories of men. And a lot of the girl groups, their producers, people like Phil Spector, Berry Gordy, there's information about the girl groups in books about them, documentaries about them, but it really came to the actual lives that these young women led. You know, the first young women to start vocal groups, they, sent all over the South to desegregate music. They really had such an important role in music and also just in history, and we felt that they hadn't really gotten the credit they deserved, considering the massive contributions that they've made to people's personal lives through loving the song and falling in love and getting married and breaking up to these songs that mean so much to us. And so we were so excited to, luckily a lot of the women are still with us because these are groups from the 50s and 60s. So we were just absolutely lucky to be able to talk to so many people still and capture such important history.
Ah, so beautiful. And how did the two of you capture all of this history? I know you said you're still in contact with some of these young, well, former young women, which is amazing. But what was the process like to create this book?
Well, we really started off as fans of the music. So we've been going to shows of the girl groups and the doo-wop groups that do still tour for years. And as Laura mentioned, when we wanted to find more information, it really just wasn't available. So we started interviewing people, and recording those interviews and finding people was quite the journey.
I believe it.
And took us to, you know, even a hard copy of an old phone book. So, you know, asking other journalists who interviewed people years ago, but we were very lucky that so many people really believed in the project and wanted to share their stories with us.
Amazing. And Laura, what was the process? Like you said, you kind of went through that process of being a fan and then locating all of these women. But then when it came to putting the stories together and writing this book, how did that go about?
Well, we wanted to make sure, in terms of the way that we frame the narrative of the story, that it moved quickly and also really encompassed the feeling and spirit of that time. A lot of the groups have some similar stories and how they formed, and even things that happened to them. So we really wove it in together in a way that we got to speak to a lot of different groups, and each group sort of buttressed their own theme thematically, so that there was variety in reading.
Oh, amazing. And what did it really mean to the two of you to kind of build this book together and be able to tell some of these women's stories?
I mean, to speak for both of us, it was an absolute honor. You know, these are women, as we've said, who've had amazing cultural contributions, or have made amazing cultural contributions, but also have lived long lives and have done a variety of things. So it just was a real honor to bear witness to their stories and have them trust us in retelling them in our book.
So you guys have something coming up, right? An event that's coming up this week. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yes, so I'm very excited to be here in the Bay Area as a Bay Area. Well, I grew up here, you know,
Amazing. Well,
and come back as regularly as possible.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be at Green Apple Books on the Park tonight at 7 on 9th Ave. The local journalist and artist and activist Rocky Rivera will be there with us, and it's presented in partnership with the Ruby, so we're very, very excited. But if you can't be there, the book is available everywhere books are sold, though we suggest your local bookstore.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And what do you guys hope that people take away from this read, Laura?
We hope that people take away, you know, there are a lot of stories about your favorite songs and behind the scenes that people will really enjoy, but we hope the thing that people really take away is that this is an incredibly accomplished group of women who moved the needle for feminism, civil rights, and also just inspiring so many new generations of girls by giving them the idea to start a group, to have their own voices be heard, which has just continued and continued and continued, which is beautiful. And these women are the first. They were the first women that went out and decided to form a group and to just do it. And it just took off.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I love the concept behind this book and the stories that you two have been able to tell. So thank you both so much for your contributions, even yourselves, into cultural history. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. Yeah.